Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to another video on the channel. Today we are going to be checking out openings and endings for the fall 2025 season. That's autumn if you live anywhere else. I do believe that it's just a fall though for anime, but I'm just yabbing. This is the first time in quite a while that I've been doing one of these seasonal anime opening ending lists where I haven't really known what's coming per se. Like last season, especially summer, I knew like 5+ series that were all airing at that time, and I had an idea that those would get openings in that video. But you know, as always, Pinecino's curated this list, keeping me out of the loop, so I don't know what's coming, but I would suspect a few series might be in there, but that's really all I can think of. I can think of like maybe Gachiakuta, which continued airing into the season, might have had a new opening. My Hero Academia, of course, what this whole channel of reactions started with, checking out the My Hero Academia openings. Maybe we'll get another one in there as well, and who knows. One Piece has been ripping it up lately in the opening scene. They've been pumping out a new opening, it feels like, every season, so who knows, maybe there'll be another one in there too. But besides that, I don't think I know really anything else that's airing right now. So yeah, this is going to be a really fun one because it's very mysterious to me, but we are going to be checking out openings and endings here. I assume that's because, you know, the fall season's generally a quieter one, so we're getting openings and endings in there together. So yeah, why don't we just jump right into this one. But if you guys do enjoy these videos, please leave a like and subscribe if you have not done so already, and comment down below letting me know your favorite opening and ending from this video. And as always, hit the notification bell if you would like to be notified when videos like this one and episode reactions that I do on the channel will go live. And as always, share this with someone who you think might enjoy this video. And yeah, we're just going to check this one out, so here we go. Alright, let's see what we get in what I presume will be opening number 1. What'll it be? There it is! It's My Hero Academia. It's back. Eddie? It's been a while from I've been in this world. Okay. Funnily enough, I was expecting more of a hype beast opening, but this feels very fitting, honestly. We're seeing everyone. This is very, very nice for the like it's like a nice farewell to the series. Wow. Big bad boy there. There's everyone. Bakugo, what's he doing back? You go. All reaching up. Wow. The final fight. Oh, reaching out for each other. The day has come. That felt very, very sweet. I'm honestly surprised that that's how this opening went. It's very, I would say, fitting for the end of the series, because for a series that goes on, that has gone on as long as My Hero Academia, yeah, another great like hype opening would have been incredible here. But you know, you're getting to the end, you know, this is the final season, and it is kind of sad. And it's one of those openings that once you get beyond final fights and like you're getting to those last episodes, it's gonna like hit a lot harder, because you're like, it's getting you into that emotional state. You're in that emotional state of like saying goodbye to these characters, saying goodbye to this world. And yeah, I'm glad that we were able to check out another My Hero Academia opening here, because like I've said in the opening, that's how this all began, and I think it's very fitting that this was the first one we checked out today. This is the opening for the final season of My Hero Academia, produced as always by Studio Bones. This season is directed by Nakayama, the previous season, with chief director Kenji Nagasaki. Seasons 1 to 3, character designs by Yoshihiko Umakoshi, Berserk 97 and My Hero Academia. That's crazy. I feel like you probably told me that before, but character designs for Berserk 97 and My Hero Academia is honestly insane. Music by Yuki Hayashi, Haikyuu, My Hero Academia, Sakade's, and Medalist. I don't think I knew that they did the music for Haikyuu, funnily enough. That's really, really cool. And of course, based on the hugely popular manga by Kohei Horikoshi, the song is The REVO by Porno Graffitti. Holy shit, that is a name that I have not heard here in a long time. Who did Full Metal Alchemist, the first opening for 03, and poetically, and I think incredibly, My Hero Academia opening 1. I love that it went full circle. I honestly was kind of scared to ask if this was a group that did an opening already for My Hero Academia, because I thought it was. I just was not going to be able to pinpoint who it was specifically. Really interestingly enough, I don't know if this will make sense, but the singer's voice was reminding me of the singer on Departure from the Hunter x Hunter opening. There was a little bit of like a whenever like he was reaching the higher notes, or it kind of reminded me of that. I don't know if that makes sense. I know it isn't him, but that's kind of what I was thinking while hearing it. Umakoshi is also known as the character designer for a few key Magical Girl series, so his range is mighty. That's crazy, really. I guess the reason you listed just My Hero Academia and Berserk 97 is because that's all I know that he's done. But yeah, that's really, really cool, because Berserk 97, Berserk in general, and My Hero Academia could not be more different. Even though, My Hero Academia does dabble in real deep darkness at times, like it's but at the same time, like there's always characters there that are ready to pull the main characters especially out of that darkness and into the light. And it's very much like not necessarily a power of friendship series, but the power of friendship is very prevalent, and it does get them through a lot of the series. Just really bizarre hearing those two series listed beside each other. But about this opening, I think that it's incredible that they managed to capture those feelings that I was feeling as I was approaching the end of the series, if that makes sense. Like, I believe I got caught up with My Hero Academia. Pinecino, you can remind me if I'm wrong. I got caught up with maybe 2 or 3 chapters left for the series. I binged the whole thing. I finished My Hero Academia, or got caught up in the span of like a week, or well, not 2, maybe 2 or 3 weeks or something. It felt like a very short amount of time. I was speedrunning that series, so a lot of the middle section of My Hero Academia, honestly, it's kind of a blur. I don't remember order. I don't remember every detail because I wasn't consuming it in a normal fashion. So a lot of the stuff within My Hero Academia sadly has gone over my head already at this point, but I'm being reminded of seeing some of the stuff while it's showing this opening, for example. I caught up just about to where this week's episode will end, really. So I guess I was still on Final Fights when I got caught up. But yeah, I remember my time reading My Hero Academia. It was a truly special time. Forgive me for speaking on behalf of you, Pinecino, but I remember like when I was reading it, like you did say something about like it inspired you to go back and like get caught up or something, or there's something about it anyway. So like we were kind of experiencing the series in a way all like together, and it was a really, really fun time. Genuinely, we were just sharing thoughts and like screenshots of like panels and stuff on the Discord to each other, and it was really a great time. Like I honestly had such a fun time catching up with My Hero Academia. So knowing now that for anime onlys it is about to end for them, I know that some of you guys have been on this train for the better part of a decade now, so I can't imagine how it feels to have been invested in the series for that long. Another thing that I've heard is that the past couple seasons have been in a way like a step up. Like, I don't know what that means. Like, for me, the series was incredible the whole way through reading the manga, so there was no real like down slump period for me. Even parts and sections of the story that apparently people didn't enjoy so much, I had a great time with. I can't imagine how it feels to have been with the series for that long, just now to be in the finale of it, I guess. I hope that this opening also feels like a great end opening, if that makes sense, for the series for others as well, because like it's been pointed out, Porno Graffitti is back. That in itself is a great sign that they wanted to bookend this in a way that celebrated the series. It made you reappreciate the series. You had multiple fallouts with it over the years. That makes sense. Okay. I don't really know what to say about this because the opening itself, it is almost like, I don't want to say it's like a PowerPoint. It does spend time on, you know, showing characters, and it kind of does a great job of showing just about every character you could think of that is in any way mildly relevant for the final fights, etc. I think that it was very fitting that it focused on doing it this way. Bakugo is the first person you see in this opening, and like I don't know where the previous season left off. I don't know if it's a spoiler seeing him in this opening. I don't think it was. I think that he had been revived by the end of the last season. But you know, seeing him, the first thing that you see on the screen here, that's got to be nice. And also, he's obviously a fan favorite character. Followed then immediately by having All Might directly to the right of him, his hero, the person that he looked up to, the person that he aspired to be when he was younger. Obviously, as he grew up, you know, he had a hardened personality. He didn't really show any kind of fanaticism or anything like that, but that was a thing that Bakugo and Deku, in a sense, had a shared commonality with when they were younger, and it's something that kind of plays out throughout the series, where that's kind of the one thing they had in common, their love and appreciation for this one hero of All Might. Mecha All Might was last season's cliffhanger. Gotcha. That's cool. That's a cool way to end it. And then, you know, you see that they're looking out in the direction of Deku, and it's not that they're looking at him, but it almost looks like that's what's happening here because he's the main character. They've got blue on their faces. You know, blue is associated with like a sickly color, but also, you know, good. So I guess that's what it's representing. And as it's showing, like, is this his mother? Like, I'm not sure who that is. I think it's maybe his mother. And then it shows Eri. I think it's cool that he's seeing flashes of the people that believe in him, the people that, you know, mean a lot to him, that he's doing this all for. And that's then when he opens his eyes and he looks out towards, you know, the danger, you could say. He doesn't necessarily have a smile on his face or like an I'm ready to do this. It's almost like a shock, and like he's preparing himself. And yeah, I think that it was really well done there. Obviously showing paneling like this, something that other openings and endings for the series have done that I've really loved seeing kind of presented in this comic booky style, because this is a series that is very heavily inspired by those classic superhero comics and stuff. So paying homage to that once again within this opening, I think it's really cool. I love it a lot. And I suspect this is showing scenes that occurred throughout the series. I'm not necessarily recognizing anything specifically that stands out, though. Yeah, I would expect that it's showing scenes from throughout the entire series here, or maybe just from Final Fights, who knows. Then obviously we get to see the evil, and they're represented by the red, whereas, you know, our main characters had blue and stuff. So the way it's showing, you know, this blue on young Shigaraki as well, it's making it seem like he can be redeemed. You know, it's presenting this idea of, or this question of, can he be redeemed? Is he redeemable? And I guess the purple kind of look to that is showing kind of like a grayness, because it's the blue and the red mixed. I say grayness, it doesn't make sense, but it's like more of a gray area of like is he he's kind of in the middle, I guess. It's a genuinely great little opening at recapturing a lot of the magic of My Hero Academia and reminding us a lot of these characters, what they can do, what they're willing to do, what they want to be able to go forwards and face. You know, we're being reminded of you know, sad backstories here, like the characters. I wish I could remember character names, but obviously guy in the middle here ends up being one of the villains. It's like a whole thing. I can't remember her name, but she was the teacher, the tutor of All Might and everything. So all of these characters have a lot of emotional gravity surrounding them, and being reminded of that while the song in the background is quite somber. It's not like a song that gets you hyped or anything. I think that it's truly remarkable that it ties all those emotions together, but it doesn't feel like a sad opening at the same time. It does feel hopeful. It does feel like a farewell, but it's not necessarily like this super sad opening. Like I said already, I imagine as the series goes on, those feelings will re-emerge and those feelings will begin to hit harder, and this opening will go on to be one that, and speaking of Mecha All Might, this opening will be one that gets remembered for how it made you feel. I don't know if I really want to spend too much time focusing on the visuals and everything, because besides the key moments where it's showing characters and stuff, it does kind of just focus on the fights and stuff. And I do love shots like this where it's kind of showing everyone. It shows how beat up they are, but they're all still standing, unless your name is Froppy or... But everyone else is standing. Obviously, Invisible Girl here is not invisible, which is funny. And they're all ready to fight. Like, this whole class has each other's backs. That's one of the greatest things about this series, in all honesty. This class, this group of friends, they have each other's backs. They will do whatever it takes to get from point A to point B. And that's what this whole series has shown. I think I might be ready to move on. I did love the opening. I did love the visuals. I did love the song, and I love seeing them all reaching out towards the final fight as it's happening with Deku and Shigaraki. And then of course that's when it ends, almost with Shigaraki and Deku reaching out for each other. Deku's trying to help little baby Shigaraki in there, but does he want to be saved? That's the question, and that's what you're all gonna have to wait to find out when it gets to that point. What's gonna come? Who knows? Is it going to be a happy ending? Is it going to be an ending that people are happy with? That's for you to decide. I personally was satisfied with the ending for My Hero Academia, and I cannot wait for you guys to enjoy it and experience it for yourselves. But yeah, I think we're ready to move on to the next one. The next second video in this video, second opening, ending, whatever it happens to be. So let's see what we get in the next one. Here we go. The overlay looks even different again on YouTube. Sanda. Sanda. Okay, it's actually called Sanda. Oh, is this the Beastars creator series? It shows snow at the start and it's showing snowflakes now. Is this actually about Santa Claus, or was that a knife? Being moved. What? These characters look villainous. What is a glass in your fist? Knife? Did someone kill Santa? Like, what happened? It's a fun opening, I'll give you that. I love the visuals as well. Wow, the animation there is so cool. What is being injected? Something that blows your hearts up anyway. That's crazy. Can we trust anyone here? Everyone's got a weapon of some sort. Is that Santa? Little dance, it's so fun. Not the gun and the knife and the exploding hearts. That was really cool. This is Sanda, produced by Science Saru. Really? I had no idea they were doing anything this season. Directed by Tomohisa Shimoyama. Scripted by Kimiko Ueno, Zenshu, New Ranma, and Donjimeshi. And based on the manga by Paru Itagaki. Beastars, also the daughter of the creator of Baki, I believe. The song is Adult Chick Jill. That was a bit of a strange tongue twister. Adult Chick Children by Yama, Ranking of Kings Ending 1, really, and Spy Family Ending 2, and of course Witch from Mercury Opening 2 as well. Faced with declining birth rates, children are highly monitored and strictly raised in boarding schools. Really? That's an interesting premise. What's that gonna do? As the future of the nation and nothing but. Sanda's life is threatened by fellow student Fuyumura, hoping to awaken a certain lineage within him on an ordinary December 25th. Sanda discovers he can transform into the form of his descendant, the Saint Nick. That is bizarre. That's really funny. And Fuyumura seeks the aid of the one and only Santa to find a missing friend. Can he spread festive cheer in a world that's bandit? Alright, I need to move this away from the red because it's hurting my eyes a lot. Alright, my eyes are burning. I don't know if this is going to make sense, but something about this opening reminded me kind of like of the style of what we saw, especially within the ending for the ending that we checked out recently for the samurai, and it was created by the guy who created Detective Conan. Yaiba, yes, like the style of the visuals, I guess. It's making me think of Yaiba for some reason. I don't know why. I really don't know why, because I don't see really anything specifically that stands out. So yeah, this is a really, really interesting premise for a series. The whole aspect of children, you know, being raised in boarding schools simply because they are going to be the future of the nation, and there's a declining birth rate. It's making me wonder, like, if there's a declining birth rate, why would they be kind of taken away? I guess it's to do some sort of propaganda work or like brainwashing or something in order to kind of make those children grow up into wanting to have their own and stuff like that. Like, who knows? But anyway, Sanda, I guess the idea that he is a descendant of the Saint Nicholas and can transform into Saint Nick, Santa, that is honestly bizarre. It's reminding me a lot of Ranma, which was mentioned a little bit ago, you know, the whole transformation aspect, but I don't imagine it's anything like that whatsoever. I guess if this is like a series where the little blurb there says, can he spread festive cheer in a world that's banded? I'm wondering then if this is the kind of series where it's all doom and gloom, kind of like at the beginning, like the first episode or so, it's maybe really like kind of depressing until all of a sudden things start to pick up and, you know, there's that festive cheer and everything. And then I wonder then if that leaks throughout and you kind of see characters that you see nearly every episode perhaps a little happier and stuff, and you know, there's that kind of transition throughout the series where you start to see characters change in a good way, in a happier way. This is far and away the most fun show this season, though it's apparently underwatched since it's on Prime rather than Crunchyroll. Damn. Well, this is a Pinecino seal of approval to go watch Sanda however you can on Prime, or it's quite close to Ranma actually. That's cool. So then I wonder why it was kind of showing like a lot of murder. It would seem like I don't know if that's a way for, like, I don't know if it's like the government, if there's a government conspiracy or whatever. I wonder if, you know, the big brother kind of aspect or whatever, where they're being watched anytime someone tries to spread some joy, anytime someone steps out of line, maybe they're killed off. But then why was it showing just regular children, it seemed, wielding weapons? I won't be able to find it if I try, but it looked like there were some real villains out there. And you know, this kind of stitch work on this guy's face when it zooms out like this, making him seem kind of like a Frankenstein-esque character. I don't know, like not a Frankenstein monster, Frankenstein's monster type character. I don't know if he is like monstrous or what the deal with him is, but he doesn't seem to be someone that sparks good feelings or whatever. He does seem to be very villainous. And then when it shows this girl character right here who's kind of falling into his traps, she's reaching out and it's not looking particularly great, especially then when it shows right after like a bullet's shot through some glass and it's created cracks and everything for, I think it's the same girl. Yeah, I don't think she makes it very far in this series for one. But then, you know, we do see someone punch through that glass and use that glass to kind of punch something else. So I wonder if her death sparks something within it. I'm guessing this might be Sanda, our main character. Something that happens to her sparks him to fight, get angry, get whatever it is, and he uses, in a metaphoric way, her as a motivator to get some kind of justice or something, because of the fact that it was like he punched the glass that reflected her, and now he's punching with that glass that reflected her on it. But then again, going off of the blurb where it's like spread festive cheer and everything, I don't know if it goes that direction. Like I really don't understand this series whatsoever from this opening, because we see people getting stabbed with knives, we see people getting shot, we see people being injected with something that blows your heart up. Like, there's a lot in this opening that I'm sure makes so much sense to anyone watching this, but to me, someone watching this as an outsider, this is very confusing, because I feel like I'm getting different stories here that it's hard to find a way to piece it all together. So I don't know if I'm really going to try to do that much longer, but this was a really, really, really cool opening. I really appreciated this opening so much. I think it's cool seeing like shots like this as well, where it's almost like a you can trust nobody kind of thing, because her shadow's got a knife. So, you know, it's kind of showing that she puts on a front and the real her isn't as innocent as it might seem. But yeah, whatever's going on in this boarding school, there's some crazy shit going on, and I don't know who we can trust, who we can't, and what to believe anymore, because everyone looks to be suspicious. Also then, you know, the series does show some silliness and fun in the opening with this little section right here where he's like in a TV and he's doing a little step, a little dance. And one thing I have to say as well, based on covers that I've seen from the manga creator for this series, I haven't seen anything for Sanda, but I have seen, you know, B-Star's covers and stuff. I think that her style looks to be really, really well presented within this opening. Especially, I wonder if the series itself has that same look to it and has that same presentation of her unique style and her drawing style and how she draws characters and everything. Because if so, that's really, really cool, because obviously B-Stars being in 3D, it's not going to present her style per se as great as something that is done in 2D. But yeah, I really, really love the look of this series. I think it looks incredible. I think it looks like it has so much polish to it. The opening as well, what a great opening. I love the song. I think it was really, really fun. I would probably watch this back again, and I might pick up on something new when I watch it back again, in all honesty. Don't know if I really have much more to say. You were shocked how well they brought her style to life in the show, since it took CG to get it to work in B-Stars. Yeah, I guess Science Saru is just cracked, right? And speaking of Science Saru, aren't they doing the Ghost in the Shell anime very soon? I remember that was the thing. Likely summer next year. Really, that's a long way away. I guess one thing that is curious about this series in particular is the fact it's airing in fall. I know that fall will transition into December, where it does start to get, you know, cold and everything, but I would have just for some reason suspected that this would have aired during the winter season, considering everything. But I guess timeline wise, maybe it's better suited for a fall series, because when we head into the colder weeks and everything, this will still be airing, whereas you know, if it was to air during winter, we would still be watching the series into close to spring. The finale is close to Christmas. Yeah, well, that makes a lot of sense. That's really, really cool. It also would have been really cool if it aired on Christmas, considering that was number 2. We are going to move on to number 3 right now. Let's see what we get in number 3 for this video. Here we go. Oh, that's yellow grass. Spy Family is back. Who are these characters? Are these just the school children? Oh, this is cute. This looks almost older. Like, I wonder if this is flashback? Water gun. Anya. Okay, never mind. This is not flashback. Oh, it's so cute. The little water gun is killing me. It's so cute. Okay. There's the guy with the weird tall hair. Yuri. Oh, look at Bond. He's all these other animals. Aww. Oh no, don't eat that if she made it. Don't do it. Unless she had a get good at making food arc. That was so cute. That was really, really sweet. I really, really like that opening a lot. This is the opening of Spy Family Season 3, directed by Shingo Natsume, Space Dandy, and One Punch Man. The song is Protect the Light by Spitz. To explain what I meant when I said it, asked about a flashback, I guess I should have known when it showed this guy. I didn't realize it was showing these characters here, but just something about showing like characters running like this and the uniforms they're wearing, it looked kind of older, and I just imagined that this was maybe a Lloyd flashback, because I know that the first episode kind of focuses on, well, it doesn't focus on, but it shines light on Lloyd's childhood being kind of like, messed up and everything, and that's almost part of the reason why he's doing all this. I thought that maybe we would get a flashback arc when we see them wearing uniforms that look like this, kind of olden style and stuff. Look at the characters with Anya. Funny enough, you say that. I'm not even clicking on it yet. I haven't found it, but I did think it showed like a young, oh my god, I can't even remember her name. Is it Yui? The mother figure, the mother character. I'm forgetting. It's been so long since I've seen Spy Family. So I'm guessing this is like, that is right. That's Anya running with two, like the younger versions of her parents. So maybe this will be kind of diving into flashbacks. And I think that that's really cool, because that was something that I was really excited to find out about when I was watching Spy Family, and I only did watch season 1, and that's all I know about the series, so I don't know really what comes of that, if it is ever given a full flashback arc treatment, or if it's just kind of explained through dialogue and stuff what happened. Lloyd's past is one that I'm honestly very interested in, to be perfectly honest, so maybe it's time to get back into Spy Family. If this is flashback, it kind of explains the filter that's put over this, like a golden years type thing or something, like the gold reflecting off them, like the sun and everything, remembering your youth, remembering playing outside and the sun and just having fun with your friends and everything. And also, like, I don't recognize many of these characters, so I don't know who they are, so that's what's making me think that it might show some flashback stuff. You'll say you think the best episodes of Spy Family in a long time haven't the season, and they may have been in a blank flashback arc. I do think that this looks like an incredible opening, and this is showing Lloyd's flashback. It makes sense then why we see this water pistol and everything. It's probably something from his childhood that he would play with, and if it's also showing Lloyd's flashback, it would make this all the more sad watching this opening as the series goes on, because I know that this is a slice of life series, and I know that it isn't one that necessarily follows a story episode by episode by episode by episode. Like, yes, they are trying to get to a certain point in the series by getting there through episodes, but a lot of the series, especially season 1 anyway, it's all I can speak for, at points it's just random episode in a very slice of life kind of way, and I thought it was great. I really enjoyed that. But if this spends time on flashback, that's really, really cool for the series, because it probably stands out, and also it makes then what might happen in Lloyd's past all the more sadder and have a lot more gravity, and kind of give you a lot more weight to his actions and his character, and you can understand him a lot better. I think that would honestly be a great way to do that. And then, obviously showing Anya pulling him into the light, maybe that's thematic, and it's kind of showcasing how she literally has changed his life. She has pulled him out of that darkness, out of that slump, and he has changed into a better person. He's been a more family oriented person. He's been someone who thinks about others first, and he does go out of his way for others that we have seen in the series. And your forger, holy shit, that just like the synapses just sparked in my mind. Holy shit, I was in the middle of a thought. Anya has changed him in great ways, and that's present all the way back in episode 1 of season 1. We see that he has the opportunity to leave her behind, and he fully intends on doing that, but she waits for him. She doesn't want to leave his side, and so he learns to respect her, learns to appreciate, and probably also potentially love her. And yeah, I do honestly love the premise for Spy Family. I do think it's a really well written series from what I saw in season 1 anyway. I hate to just keep saying from season 1, but that is all I can speak on. And I do think that it has all the sauce in the formula to be a truly unforgettable series that you could recommend to anyone. By the time it ends, I don't think it will have a bad ending. I don't know where it's going to go. I know that the overarching plot for the series is related to, is it Desmond's father? I can't even remember his name, but he's the creepy guy with the big eyes. The opening, I loved the visuals. It reminded me a lot of the visuals from the recent openings and endings for Spy Family for sure. Like, it did feel very much like it came after those, if that makes sense. It doesn't strike me as unusual or out of place or anything, but it also does do a great job of being unique. I don't know how to explain that, but I love this opening a lot. I love seeing all the characters again. I love being reintroduced to this world. And yeah, I don't really know what more to say other than this was amazing. This was incredible. This was another great opening for Spy Family, and I cannot wait to see what comes next in the future for this series. I don't know if it's getting caught up with the manga, because I believe the manga might be like a monthly chapter type deal. So at this point, I don't know if they're just going to have to go on a hiatus for the anime. Another thing that I guess Spy Family did that I thought was very well, that I don't know if it was received as well as I loved it, but some of my favorite episodes in that first season I later learned were filler episodes. Like the episode I'm thinking of in particular is the one where Anya sets up this whole thing for Lloyd or something, and he's going through it and he's being a spy. That was an episode that I truly honestly loved and enjoyed a lot, and I later learned it was a filler episode, so I don't know if they're continuing into doing that where they're just dropping in filler episodes every so often. That was more an episode they greatly expanded. Oh really? Okay, so it was mostly filler content opposed to a filler episode. Gotcha. I think we're ready to move on to the next one and see what we get in number 4. Whoa! That was loud in my ears, but let's go. Tougen Anki! Oh, this is fun. This is a really fun opening. I love this one already. Running on the air. Calamity. So there is some sort of magic power system in this series that I did not pick up on from the opening ending. The cards, the fate, it's in the cards. This goes really hard actually. Blood, okay, so blood is used as a means of drawing out the power. Oh shit, the demon! An umbrella! Oh wow, look at that. They're not even looking at it. They're too cool. Who's this bad guy? Oh shit, the Joker. That was really, really cool, actually. I said I didn't realize that there was like some sort of a magic system for when we checked out Tougen Anki in the past, but I guess I did kind of... I think I remember like he sliced his hand or something at the end of it, and I kind of asked if that was something that was related to something that happened in the series, but at the same time I didn't know what to expect because I didn't get any kind of indication what the series was about, what happens within the series. So learning that this is like action shonen is somewhat new to me. Like it's something I didn't see in the past, but I'm not surprised that they use blood because that's something that I thought I recognized in the past. This is the second opening for Tougen Anki. The song is Amidakuji by Chougakusei. You put this in anticipation that fans would complain about it not being here. All you'll say is that it continues to look like Uro Mirage but real. Damn, that's crazy. I'll be the first person to to speak in support of this opening because this was really, really great. This was a really good opening in all honesty. It was fun. It showcased the series quite well, I thought. It gave me answers to what the series might be about. It also gave me questions, and it was so stylish, it was slick, and it was just a really cool one to check out. So I'm glad that this was included. Seeing characters situated like this and, you know, sat and everything, it does remind me a lot of like older series that I've checked out openings for. Like there's one in particular, I don't know if this is going to make sense, but there was like a Gundam opening. It might have been like Iron Blooded Orphans or something, where it showcases characters sitting on a sofa, and for some reason it's making me think of that. A shot like this, so that's random, but yeah, we're gonna go through this one because this was a really, really fun one to check out. And yeah, the way the characters look, like character designs, I can't put my finger on what it is exactly, but it does remind me of something else. Is it Zom 100 or something that it's making me think of? I don't know what it is, but it's like the type of coloration, the line thickness and everything. They have a DreamWorks smirk, but shonen. This Oni graphic design, I don't know if this is some sort of mark of the main villain, because at the end we see it again right before it shows the big boss, the final boss or whatever. I'm not going to be able to find it. There it is. It kind of bookends the whole opening, I guess you could say, where, you know, we see characters like this in this style, followed then by the mark of the Oni, and then right at the end we see the characters kind of similar style again, right by then the mark of the Oni. So I guess it gives it a sense of full circle type deal. So I wonder if that's kind of an indication as to something within the series where there are loops, there are stories that are began and resolved in the same arc here. Yeah, I'm not really sure how to interpret that specifically, because there's probably a reason for why they do things in that order at the very beginning and at the very end. Maybe it's showing that despite everything that happens throughout the middle, the beginning and end goals are all the same throughout. Yeah, I don't know. But showing the daytime apartments here and then showing them in a purple light, followed then immediately by a green light, it's really fun because it made me think that there's some sort of party going on or something. But I wonder then if this is kind of an indication of, like, I know a lot of series these days are doing stuff like this. I'm sure it's a thing in the past as well, but like an empty space or something. You know, there's the veils in JJK, there's like empty space in Dan, and there's other stuff as well that incorporate aspects like this or things like this. And I wonder if that's kind of being reflected by what we see here with these lights. Maybe not, but it's all I can really think of. But, you know, seeing the characters all standing atop a building, you can get a good sense of their personalities here and everything. Here's your scared character, the Kobeni of the group. Here's the cold killer. Here's the guy who's just ready for a fight. This guy looks like he's calculated, and he doesn't really share his thoughts, perhaps. She just looks like she's down to rumble. This looks like, you know, the guy who's just ready for a scrap, and then this guy's the analyst, the one that analyzes the whole situation. Like, I feel like that's kind of what the characters are. The character designs kind of showcase that well. And yeah, they all dive into action as well. And I think another thing that's interesting is seeing all the cards, you know, like the fates are in the cards and everything, and they're all being flipped around throughout the entire opening, and we see characters in a House of Cards kind of deal here, like this design of the these rectangles, triangles, reminds you of, you know, someone building a house of cards. So whatever this guy is built, it's flimsy, it's a house of cards, but regardless of that, he still is in control. Momo, so there's different groups. I don't know which is the good group, which is the bad group, but I can't imagine the Oni group is particularly good. Seeing them use kind of bloodbending is really cool. I don't know if there's more to it than that, because we see also like glyphs on the floor and everything. So maybe it's more than just bloodbending, because we also see them like summoning other characters and stuff, or maybe they each have a familiar, and in order for the familiar to do stuff, it requires blood. Like, yeah, a lot of questions, like I said, still from this opening, but I really love that this one kind of gave me a bit more, and it was just a damn cool opening to boot. Yet again, showing the House of Cards for a series. Tougen Anki looks like it would be a really fun one. Like, I don't know really what else to compare it to, because like it does kind of just look like it follows shonen kind of formula, but it does look a lot of fun at the same time. So yeah, I don't really know if I have much to say about this one other than badass, cool, fun opening and really cool visuals that really just make me curious as to what is to come in this series. And also I love the thick outlines. Whatever this thing is looks very JJK Ruka, or is it Rika? I can't even remember. Esque here. But yeah, besides that, I don't really have much more to say besides, you know, these characters being on top of Gojo's tower from JJK opening 1. Really cool, fun, badass opening. And I don't know what the Joker's got in store for them, but it cannot be good. And yeah, let's see what we get in number 5 for this video. Here we go. Rudo! Here we go. Gachiakuta is back. Oh, that was really fun, artistic style. Okay. This is honestly more so what I was expecting for opening 1. Gachiakuta. Don't recognize some of these characters. Oh shit. Heading towards it. Flowers. Oh. Oh shit, okay. That big chimney? Angel. Oh no. Back to episode 1 right there, and that's when we start falling. There's the gang right there. That was really fun. Yeah, that was just so cool, that opening right there. This is the second opening for Gachiakuta Let's Just Crash by Mori Calliope, the VTuber from VTuber from Hollow Live. That's crazy. I feel like I've heard that name before. Have we checked out something else for them on the channel? Mori Calliope? They've been known for a while. Right, well, maybe I've just seen the name before, but for some reason, I thought that maybe they'd done another opening or something. The opening itself was incredible. Like, personally, I'm very partial to the first opening. I really loved it. I loved it a lot more on repeat viewing. While I was editing and everything, I was going back and rewatching it. They did a song for a One Piece manga preview, the first Egghead one. Really? I don't think I would have heard that. So I don't know if I would immediately say this is Jump That, but I do think that this stands firmly right alongside it as another great opening for Gachiakuta. And who knows, maybe upon rewatching this one while I'm editing and everything, maybe this will jump that one, that original first opening. And there's just so much greatness to this, like from the song, the aspect of it as well. Like it's one that really, I don't know how to describe it, but it feels like it captures the essence of Gachiakuta perfectly, where there's, you know, a bit of like a a hip hop kind of feel to it, but then there's some heaviness, and then there's some like, it almost sounds like a levity aspect. Like it sounds like it lightens up or something before getting into heaviness again. Like it's all over the place. And I don't mean to say that Gachiakuta is all over the place, but Gachiakuta does kind of go all over the place at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense. The last few episodes have been so wild, really. I am behind on Gachiakuta. The anime has overtaken where I was at in the manga, so I don't even know what's happening right now in the anime series. But I hope that people are enjoying it, because like I said a long time ago, Gachiakuta is such a fun series, and it was one that I was super excited for more people checking out, especially with the anime. So now that it is out, it kind of like Dandadan that came before it, they're both series that I had read prior to the anime coming out, and I was really excited for people getting to experience those series because I had a lot of love for them. There's characters in this opening that I do not know at all. I can't tell if I recognize this guy. I don't recall at all. I don't recognize so many of these characters. And this is interesting because I don't know if this is new, because I don't recall when he was falling this thing that looked like it was curled up. And it's reminding me a lot of Claire Obscure, if I'm being perfectly honest. This kind of like, huge figure that's curled up. So I'm wondering then if what the deal is with this huge thing, because we see obviously Rudo go flying towards it. So whatever it is, he's heading towards it. He's not scared. This character as well, I feel like she was introduced right at the end of the volume that was the final volume that had been released physically when I was reading it. So I also don't really know anything about her at all, but she looks pissed. She is not happy. She's got a big glare on her face, like this hugely pissed off looking face, and whatever's happened to her, it's not been good, because she's chained up and everything, sealed away it seems. So I don't know if she's been sealed away for the good of others or for any other reason in particular, but whatever it is, obviously she doesn't have good feelings. And I wonder if those things that were around her arms that we saw here, like this white, I wonder if that means she was the angel figure here. Like, I don't know if that was wings perhaps that are attached to her arms. I'm not sure. That's a crazy spot to leave at. That's when the series really gets going with her arc, really. I was enjoying it before then, so if that's when for you things start to get going, then yeah, I'd be interested in getting back to it at some point soon, I hope. I don't really know what more to say about this, because for the most part it's like, oh, this guy as well I don't recognize. The way it shows, is that Jabber? I remember a character called Jabber with like dreads. We see Rudo facing off against this guy and they both go to punch each other. I don't know if this is a guy related to Rudo's past, or like, I don't know if they jumped the gun too early and introduced his father, for example, or if this is just new villain type deal. Like, I'm not really sure what's going on there, but Engine looks as cool as ever. I wonder if Engine's like the fan favorite. I highly suspect that Engine would be like the fan favorite of the series. That's an Ashton Ojo reference, really, like the punch. I guess for me that just looks like generic, like two characters fighting each other. Like, I feel like I've seen that pose a million times, but I guess it could be traced back to Ashton Ojo, as you're saying, and over time others have just done it so much that it's lost its luster a bit. It's no longer like a unique thing. I can't remember these two characters' names, but I remember that he's the first guy that Rudo kind of runs into with his like walking stick, and she's the girl with the scissors. But yeah, Gachiakuta, what a fun series. I love the way the characters look. Like, the character designs in this series are honestly so good. I love the character designs in this. Zanka and Rio, yes, that's right. I just love the character designs. The way this looks, I think it looks honestly like Bones is cooking so hard. It looks like they tapped into their old Soul Eater ways and just have not looked back. Like, I don't know if there is crossover with the staff that worked on Soul Eater and Gachiakuta, but it really, really does just look like they tapped into those old ways and they're just cooking once again. They are going off and they are creating a series that truly looks incredible based on what I've just seen in this opening and the previous opening and ending alone. But the previous opening and ending, I feel like, didn't really showcase the style of the anime series per se, whereas this one I feel like is showcasing the anime itself, like the visuals and everything, what you would see if you were to sit down and watch this. And yeah, the coloring that they use is great. I love that Ruto's eyes are just bright red. Engine, obviously a character associated with yellow. The way they have Rio's hair popping as well reminds me a lot of how she looks on that manga cover, where her hair is super bright and vibrant. So yeah, I don't really know if I have much more to say other than it looks like they've done a great job with the series. It looks like so much fun. I love how it looks. I love this opening so much. Mori Calliope, yeah, what an incredible singing voice. What an incredible opening song. It was so fun to just get down with. It was really, like I said, kind of all over the place in the most loving way I could say that possible, because it perfectly encapsulates Gachiakuta, which is very all over the place at the same time, but you know, in a structured kind of sense. So yeah, this was far from trash, let me say that, you know, considering it's a series all about trash. And yeah, I wonder if we're going to hear more from VTubers in the future, because I know that I can't remember who it was or where it was that we heard it, but I know that not even that long ago there was another opening slash ending with a VTuber that provided the song for it, and I remember it also being great. So oh yes, that's it. That's, yes, the Gundam ending. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking of. So I think that personally, now that we're in an era where VTubers are actually providing openings for these series, I'm very excited, because that's a unique way to incorporate different communities and stuff, you know. It's very, very fun, and I think that it can only lead to great things, in all honesty. So yeah, let's check out number 6 for this video. Here we go. Okay, this doesn't look too great for this character. It looks very sad. She's drowning in something. The monster wants to eat me. This monster wants to eat me. Followed then by all the sharks and stuff. Is the monster something within yourself? Because I'm not seeing really anything. Are we getting some girls' love? Oh, that's the monster right there. Okay. Is this Falls Hikaru? This is very sweet. I do really love the singer's voice in this. It's very, very, really nice voice. And the tear. The hand. Oh shit. That's crazy. I'll make a prediction. This is Cloverworks. Something about this character in particular just reminded me of Bocchi the Rock so much. So I would guess this is Cloverworks before I read anything else. This is The Monster Wants to Eat Me, produced by Studio Lings. Okay, never mind. Never heard of this studio before, but that's another great thing about checking out these videos, where I'm introduced to whole new things that I'd never seen before. It does look very Kita-esque, you agree. Okay, I'm glad we finally agree on something that I think looks like something. The production staff hasn't worked on anything too familiar to what I've seen. The series is based on a manga by Sai Naikawa. The song is Nie by Yoshino. Hinako leads a very depressed life. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It looks like she, before I read too much, I'll kind of give a little bit of what I got from this opening. So it looks like she's a character who is drowning in her own thoughts. For example, like I thought that from the title of the series, this monster wants to eat me. I thought that it was more so metaphoric and more about how she feels, and you know, the monster being herself and her thoughts, and you know, eating her up, and you know, she's drowning in all of that. So I thought that that's maybe what this was kind of going for here, but instead it seems to be that there is perhaps a literal monster, and the way it looks, you know, where it looked like there's kind of a Yuri aspect, and so I thought maybe that this was kind of perhaps this season's The Summer Hikaru Died. But it does also remind me of, and this is a movie I haven't seen, but I feel like I've seen enough clips and I've seen enough of it that I can kind of figure out mostly what it's about. But it's also kind of giving me Jennifer's Body vibes. That's a movie that I should maybe say to my wife we should watch, because we're kind of on like a horror binge right now where we're watching a bunch of horror stuff. So you know, maybe I'll add that to the list. So it's kind of reminding me of that, with like, you know, the girl aspect, and you know, there's one of them is like this monster, and I see that there's two things I would question here. One being if this is truly a monster that wants to eat her, or if this monster is one that kind of protects her and keeps her safe by seeking out and going after these other individuals that maybe would do her harm. Well, maybe there's another monster that wants to eat her, who knows. Hinako leads a very depressed life, her gaze often drifting to the sea. One day an entity tries to pull her in before getting annihilated by another predator. I guess that's kind of why it shows all the sharks and stuff, and the underwater predators with a character in the forefront. This one is a mermaid, really, calling herself Shiori, which clearly states its intentions for Hinako. I've come to eat you. Shit. A fate that Hinako simply embraces. Shiori, however, claims she will protect Hinako from other monsters that seek her flesh until the day she is truly ready for devouring. Will Hinako's feelings differ on that fateful day? And yes, this has been dubbed The Summer Hikaru Died, but Yuri this season. But it's a little different. It sounds very different, yes. Based on this opening, I don't know if it kind of goes the cinematic route that The Summer Hikaru Died went in. Like, that's something that I truly adored in The Summer Hikaru Died, where everything was very cinematic. Whereas this one, I don't know if it kind of goes that way, and if it's more so like an anime series, but with similar themes that were present within The Summer Hikaru Died, with, you know, one of them being depressed, another being a monster, another protecting that protecting the human. But I don't know if it's really so much focusing on the humanity of one and the monstrosity of the other and everything like that. I wonder then if this series, like, I feel like I've heard that before, like the whole premise of someone being told, I'm going to eat you, but not right now, like, you know, they're just kind of waiting for that day to come. I feel like I've heard that in something else before, but it's not coming to me what it is. So if anyone knows, please let me know. The opening song and the visuals, they did a great job of kind of cluing me in to what was happening here in this series. The song was beautiful. The song really did a great job of captivating me and sucking me into this world in the same way Hinako seems to be sucked into this world, this ocean. It says that she would have looked towards the ocean a lot. Her gaze was often cast out in the direction of the ocean. Could symbolize the freedom, the emptiness as well, though, because you can look at it in several ways, where she's depressed and she's looking out, she's looking at what that can represent with the freedom to go anywhere, but it could also represent the vast emptiness, you know, the fear of the unknown, because that's one thing about the ocean that is quite terrifying. Who knows what's to come, but yeah, this is crazy looking, the actual mermaid looking hand. It really took me by surprise, because everything we had seen up until this point did not indicate that there were literal monsters in this series. But after seeing this, I kind of got a clue as to what was going on here. Don't know if I really have much to say about this other than I loved how it looked. I loved the song, the sound of it and everything. I think that it looks very, very beautiful. I think that it looks like it tells a great story. I hope that it tells a story about these two characters finding their place in the world with one another, because I think that that would be a really fun story to see play out, considering one is a monster and one is someone who doesn't want to be in this world anymore. So if they can present this idea of what they can offer to one another as the series goes on, I think that that would be great. That looks like a volume cover, to be honest. Yeah, it really does. This right here. It's reminding me of something else as well that I can't, it's not coming to mind. But then seeing the drowning and the scary ass teeth, yeah, this really had it all. This really was a great opening, and yeah, I'd love to hear anyone's thoughts down below about the series, like because this does look like a very very thought-provoking one, almost, I would say. So I'd be curious to hear what others think about this. We are going to check out number 7. So yeah, let's go. Here we go. That's blinding. Ranma's back? Did I know that? Probably not. That's fun. The big panda. Ranma's father, correct? Can Ranma's father not transform back to his human form? Oh god, isn't that the guy everyone hates? Did they ruin the series by bringing him in? Oh shit, he caught it. That was fun. Little piggy, I saw it. It's nice seeing all these familiar characters again in a modern look. Like, I still remember how they all looked back in the old Takahashi video we did. Aw, look at that. And Ranma didn't want to do anything. That guy was not happy. I suspect people were not happy to see this guy show up, because I know he is widely hated in Ranma, and I believe he did not show up whatsoever in that first season. This is the opening for Ranma Half 2024 Season 2. The song is Wo Ainai Wo Aini by Suiyoubi no Campanella. Kowloon generic romance opening, that's cool. Also, yes, that was the worst character in fiction, Haposai. Why would they do that? Why would they ruin the show by bringing him in if people were so glad that he wasn't in the first season? Or are there just people that actually like him for some reason? Who knows? But yeah, the perv is back, and I guess it's interesting seeing this whole aspect of Ranma and his father being on this like chessboard. You know, they're playing chess against these two guys. You haven't seen the newest episode where he debuted, but you believe he got killed with hammers. Oh shit, they brought him in just to kill him? Nice. I'm sure that went over very well. That's really, really funny. Just brought him in to kill him off immediately. That's honestly funnier than and better than not including him at all. I guess I wonder what this whole chess game is about. I don't know if it's related to their pasts or something, or whatever it is that they need in order to transition back, but these guys do look like they're beefing. And also the way they've got this cutout look around them, it does really remind me of, I can't remember if it was an opening or ending for Ranma that we checked out a long time ago, where it kind of every so often there would be a new image and it would have this kind of cutout look around them. So I don't know if that was, there is one like that, yeah. I don't know if this is in reference to that or not, but it's making me appreciate it all the more because it's reminding me of that. So it's just really, really nice to see these little references that I can pick up on because I was able to check out some of those older openings and endings and stuff. And yeah, it's just so fun. Also seeing Ranma beating up this guy is funny considering how it then ends with that guy kicking Ranma into the water. So I'm guessing that this is a character who likes this girl, but Ranma obviously is, yeah. Oh, they actually they destroy his piece on the board with this big wrecking ball. That's really funny. I hope that that kind of becomes his whole character, where he shows up just to get beat up, punched down, destroyed, killed, whatever happens to be. This girl with the purple hair, maybe I'm crazy, but I do not remember her hair being that long. Especially in the older series, but there's just something about how this looks. Like, it's so good, like the coloring and everything, the way the colors pop. They did a great job of bringing Ranma to the future. I cannot praise this enough. And also, I wonder what it is about, like, it shows, you know, a baseball, and then it shows a golf ball, and then it shows I don't know if this is like a squash ball or a snooker, like white ball, like, you know, the what's that one called? And then it shows the black one, like the 8-ball right after. So I don't know what it is about showing all these different balls from sports. I don't know if there's something to be learned there, but these shots right here are my favorite in the opening. I really think that this kind of look is so damn cool. In a way, how it looks on the right, you know, where it's kind of devoid of color and everything, reminds me a lot of how like a manga would look. So I think it's really cool seeing that kind of presentation style. But there's something about it, the way it shows all of this, that for some reason is reminding me a lot, which it's another series by the same manga creator, but it's something about the way this is done with the coloring a lot around the outlines of the characters and stuff. It's reminding me a lot of Urusei Yatsura, specifically the New Year series for Urusei Yatsura. So maybe that's just me. I don't know if that makes sense. You'll say a good amount of the lyrics are about mahjong, so maybe it's just a lot of parlor game references. That would make a lot of sense. And yeah, I absolutely can't say I love you. Yeah, my favorite part of mahjong is the parts where they don't admit their love for one another. This is just so much fun. Like, the whole opening is a ton of fun. The song is a ton of fun. I really love the new Ranma style. I think it looks so damn good. I think the openings have been incredible for this series so far. I'm very excited to check out the ending if we check it out. And yeah, I can't wait for more Ranma in the future, because we got to see this series conclude. It's the one Takahashi work, I believe, that has been serialized in anime form that has never received the proper ending for it. So I'm excited for this to get an ending. I hope that people are following the series. I hope that people are enjoying it. I hope that this is getting the audience that this series deserves. And yeah, let's hope that we get to see this creepy ass Hapusai guy die more often, because yeah, I hate that guy so much. But let's check out the final opening for this list, and then we'll be jumping into endings right after, which will be number 8 for this video. Let's go. One Punch Man! I forgot One Punch Man was airing. Holy shit. Power to the people. Oh shit. Wow. I know all these people. I've read the series. King! Ending on King is kind of goated. Oh, the little kid, I forgot about him. That's fun. They keep showing all these scenes. None of that is relevant for him whatsoever, because he's just on his own adventure half the time. Hell yeah. This is fun. There it is, one punch. That's how you end an opening. You can't have a One Punch Man opening without a scream of one punch at one point. That was a crazy place to just skip to right there. This was a really, really fun opening for One Punch Man, and which is funny in saying that because I don't think I've ever seen the second opening for One Punch Man, just 1 and 3 at this point. And this is the opening for One Punch Man Season 3, Get No Satisfied. That makes a lot of sense, by Jam Project, featuring BABYMETAL. What? They brought in Jam Project again. They brought in BABYMETAL. Like, what is going on here? Bringing in BABYMETAL is crazy. I don't know if BABYMETAL has ever been on anime before, like, you know, doing an opening or ending or something like that, but that is a flashback right there. Like, when did One Punch Man Season 1 air? Like 2013, 2014 or something? 2015, okay, I was close. That was probably back in the era where BABYMETAL kind of went viral on YouTube for their gimmick. Maybe One Punch Man came after that. 3 seasons in 10 years is crazy, yeah. And I've heard that the adaptation has gone downhill ever since Season 1, so... but that's just what I've heard. I'm sure there might be varying opinions out there. Season 1's the only one that I've watched. I did too much screaming during this one that I need to drink water. The fact that One Punch Man, which was huge back in 2015, and BABYMETAL, which were probably huge back in 2015, are kind of brought together, I think is really, really fun. Actually, I think that's a really cool idea. We got to do more stuff like that. And yeah, this opening did a great job at basically showcasing the whole, probably what is going to be showcased within this season. So showcasing this kind of shot right here reminds me a lot of opening One Punch Man. You know, the sun setting on the earth and everything. I feel like this is basically how the first opening starts, so it's like a nice return. But then, you know, we get to see the eyes of all these characters. Saitama, we get to see Gara. Is it Gara? No, it's not Gara. Garo, jeez. I'm mixing my A's and O's. I'm getting my vowels confused. I knew I was wrong as soon as I said it. I was like, that's not Gara. Gara is a Naruto character. Tatsumaki, I think her name is. Jeez, like, the names are escaping me. And then all these bombs, you know, what's this guy called? Like, King something. I don't even remember. CBA. Couldn't be arsed. CBAS. What does this actually spell out? Oh, CBAS, that's the rankings, the hero rankings. That's probably what that's spelling out. I was like, what is that? Shots like these are so badass. The shading and everything, the lighting on Saitama makes him look like a badass. Like, it looks really, really cool. Followed then immediately by seeing Garo in the same kind of, you know, presentation. If I could find him, I'm trying to skip back to him. Or does it not? No, it doesn't show him immediately. It shows this bum. I can't even remember this bum's name. And then it shows Garo, because Garo is the real, the character that you care about during this arc. Not the other bum that it shows in between them. Yeah. Oh my god. Seeing all these characters, it takes me back. This is such a great arc of the series. It's so good. Spoilers, I've read it. I've read the series. I'm not exactly caught up because there's new chapters out and I haven't caught up to those. But holy shit, this is such a fun arc. It's so good. And it's so well written, so well done, amazingly drawn. And of course, you know, we get some really incredible moments in there. Of course, the King engine is humming, the King engine is revving. I can't remember how they describe it, but King is one of the best characters in the series easily. I don't know, man. It's so good seeing all the Class S heroes here. Apart from, can't even remember his name at this point. I'm recalling things like this is the Phoenix guy behind Child Emperor here. I'm like, seeing this here is actually reminding me of things that happen within the arc, because I have such a bad memory for things. Once I finish reading them, it's all gone. Like, there's the big dog too. What's it called? Like Pochi or something. This little kid as well. I love his character with Garo, because there's so much of an interesting dynamic between how he treats the child and everything and how he sees him because of the way he is. So it brings a really cool side out of him. I do love this kid's involvement in the series. I think that he actually brings a lot to the series, funny enough. This little kid with the snotty nose. Bang, of course. I wonder how far they're going to go this season, if it's going to cover the moment that I think everyone is at this point waiting for when it comes to One Punch Man. Like, I don't know if that will be covered here, because by the looks of things, it might still be kind of early in the I don't know what this arc's called, like the Heroes versus Monsters arc or whatever. That's something I would love to see. The monster arc is so long. It is like I remember, isn't there like a several chapter section where Saitama is in like a cart, like a mine cart? Like, is that happened yet? They started in season 2 and they are still at it now, really. Well, yeah, we'll maybe get that big moment in a season 4, or maybe they'll get close to it at the end of the season and then they'll do a movie or something, because movies are all the craze these days. Also, the cape showcasing scenes throughout the series. I don't know if that's something that was in season 1 as well, but it does look very familiar. That kind of way to showcase this. Then he raises his fist and then everyone else does too. One Punch Man is so beloved by many. And I just can't help but wonder, what part about it is it that people don't think lives up to season 1? Is it the animation? Is it pacing or something like that? Like, I don't know, because I know that people were not super crazy about season 2, and I've not heard the best things about season 3. The animation specifically, okay. Season 1 had literally the best of the best on it at the time. Then they all went their own ways and didn't return. Gotcha. So it was kind of like the like an all-star team that worked on season 1. That makes a lot of sense. Well, it's a damn shame that they didn't all reconvene and work on the future. Quite a few return for Mob Psycho though. I don't really know if I have much to say about this besides it was incredible, it looked great, it was amazing, and yeah, I just would love to see more of this. Like, I need more One Punch Man in my life, in all honesty, and this is almost motivating me to want to get back into reading it. So yeah, I might be motivated. Oh, Genos, is it Genos? I think it is. Why don't we check out the next one, which will be the first ending on this list, and it's number 9 for the video. Here we go. Alright, let's see what we get in the first ending. I suspect it might be something that we've already seen within this video, like an opening anyway, so here we go. Alice? Is this monster wants to eat me again? Eat me. Love the Alice in Wonderland imagery. Mermaid. All these Disney princesses, that's really funny. The stars in her eyes. This is really fun ending, sorry. Again with the imagery. Alice in Wonderland's really cool. The heart. And she was trapped in the mirror. This is May I Ask for One Final Thing, produced by Leiden Films, Tokyo Revengers, Call of the Night. Nothing that noteworthy about the production details of this one. The series is based on the light novel by Satsuki and Nana Utori. The song is Inferior by Shiyu. Young noblewoman Scarlet is publicly slandered by her fiancé, accused of bullying a fellow classmate named Tereneza, and is quickly labelled a villainess. Her response so far has been punching her way through an entire wing of the nobility. This ending theme, however, follows supposed victim Tereneza, who could be the mastermind behind the whole affair in an attempt to hide her own secret. Ooh, I'm sure that leads to some crazy drama. The whole Alice in Wonderland thing, she's painting, like, yeah, she's literally painting the whole thing, showing her as different, like, princesses. You know, like, this is obviously supposed to be, I would guess, Cinderella. Not Cinderella. Is it Cinderella or Sleeping Beauty? Who knows? Red Riding Hood, which is not Disney, but you know what I mean. Little Mermaid, and then into Snow White. So she's presenting herself as this really innocent and really princessly, like, regal kind of figure, you know, with so much nobility to her, and she's very sweet. Like I was saying, we do see her painting the roses, and she gets some of that paint on her and holding a brush of red. You know, your mind starts to think, could that be blood or something? I don't know. It took until seeing this on stream to realize yourself how this Alice in Wonderland motif relates to your character. Really? See, I'm not really going to be great at analyzing the character of Alice. Alice in Wonderland is a series that I have never really tapped into too much. Like, my most familiarity with Alice in Wonderland is through Kingdom Hearts 1. And then also watching my wife play Alice Madness Returns. Yeah, I know the gist of it. That's kind of the point that I'm going for. In the woods, you know, she's dressed up as Alice and everything, and she's like a Sleeping Beauty type character, and then she's like dreaming about all of this, is how it seems. Like, what we see within the rest of this ending, based on what we saw right before it makes it seem like she's dreaming all this. So she's dreaming this fantasy where she is this damsel in distress, you know, she's trapped in this unknown world and everything. And so she is like the only normal one in this world, and there's all these obstacles, there's all these wacky characters in her way. But then when we see her with all her clothing and everything stripped away, and, you know, water dripping on her and everything, she's got this like blue, almost like it's almost like a dead body-esque like hue to her. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. I wonder if it's the kind of sense that like she's dead inside or something. I can't imagine so, if she's masterminding something potentially. She definitely does present herself in this way where it's like everything's stripped away from her, so it's like she's presenting the real her, the true version of herself. And that's ironic because in here we see a fantasy world. So what is real and what isn't, when what she is imagining is all this fantasy and this imagery of stripping everything away and laying herself out there is within a fantasy world. The visuals are incredible in this ending, by the way. Let me say, I really loved them so much. It was really a treat and a joy to experience. The song as well was really fun because it had this kind of like, I would say almost like jaunty feel to it, where like it had this rhythm that kept you bouncing, and that kind of fit with the Wonderland-esque kind of absurdity of what we were seeing. Ending then with the heart that she ends up breaking in half and you know, eating on. Like, it's very on the nose, I would say. Also, her ribbon has gone black in this moment. I don't know if that's something I should be reading into, but she takes a bite out of this heart anyway. It snaps in two, and I wonder if that's in relation to the main character, the girl who was publicly slandered and everything by her fiance. I wonder if this is reflective of that, perhaps. Seeing her in like a mirror or picture frame, whatever it happens to be, and then disappearing, I'm not really sure how to interpret that, because I don't know if that's telling you that she fades into the background, or that the image that you see in front of you is not the image she really is, or that she presents, or whatever. There's two sides to her, something like that. Yeah, this was a really great ending. I really had a lot of fun with this one. And then of course the stage curtains being pulled across at the end, because the whole thing is a show, the whole thing is a production, the whole thing is a play that she is putting on. But yeah, I think that we should maybe check out the next one, which would be ending number 2 for this video. So why don't we just move on to that next one, which would be number 10. Here we go. Oh wow, look at this. I love how this looks. Sanda! This is cute. Damn, does she die though? Because it's showing them a lot together here. I'm worried. I just cry? Are they allowed to go fishing? This is really fun rhythm. Damn. The lyrics are kind of really sad, but the song sounds very fun. It's very ironic. Jeez, these lyrics are dark as shit. This is so beautifully drawn. That was so stunning. This is the ending for Sanda, Diary by Soushi, Sakiyama, JJK Season 2 Ending 1. That's a lot of fun. This was so beautiful, so stunning. The song was honestly so beautiful, but the lyrics were dark. You'll say the taller character is Fuyumura, a girl classmate, whereas the short blonde lad is Sanda. Gotcha. I thought that Sanda was this character right here, if I'm being perfectly honest. It looks like something's gone on in Fuyumura's life. This was a stunning ending. Like, I can't even tell what kind of art style this is. If this is like acrylic markers or whatever, or what this is, but this looks so good. It almost looks like someone drew this in MS Paint or something. And I mean that in a complimentary way, by the way, not like derogatory. This is truly breathtakingly beautiful, this whole thing. I don't know what to think because the ending itself looked very hopeful and showed a lot of great moments. Like, it showed a lot of happiness, a lot of joy. The characters experiencing these really fun looking moments and like these really personal moments at the same time where they were having fun, they were doing things together and stuff. But at the same time, there's just something about the way the lyrics are so ominous and so depressing that it makes me anxious. She is after a missing classmate after all. Well, I suspect it's the missing classmate that we see with the glasses because they look to be someone who maybe died during the opening. So maybe I would put money on them, it being that character specifically. Just seeing them live normal looking lives, I guess, makes me think that my idea of what the series was is maybe a bit different, because when I heard that they grew up in boarding schools, I thought that it was the kind of series where they're not really allowed outside, they're not really allowed to socialize, they're not really allowed to do this or that. They were just kind of stuck indoors, and we're getting to see that that's not necessarily the case, because the characters are going out, experiencing things with friends and doing things together. But at the same time, I wonder if there's some sort of a overwatching figure that's always looming over and watching what they do, and it puts limiters on what they're able to do. There's like less freedom than they would like, perhaps a more ideal world. Yeah, maybe this is showing like a world that they're dreaming of, I guess, because I don't know the series to kind of indicate whether I think that this is what's really happening or what they really experience or what they wish for, what would be ideal. But yeah, it could go either way, honestly. But I guess for people who have seen the series or are watching it or have read it, you will know what it is. And yeah, I guess it gives you hope for the future, because it's what you see play at the end of an episode. So even if it ends off on a pretty scary, ominous note, you know, you still get that hope for the future through this ending where everything looks kind of good for the characters, but at the same time those lyrics are very not looking great out there for the characters or for the world. And yeah, one of the best looking endings, like visual styles, that I think I've seen in a very long time. I loved how this looks so much. It's a shame that it's not really animated though, and it's just kind of like single shots that are being panned and stuff, but that doesn't take away from the artistry of this ending whatsoever. This still looks absolutely amazing. But yeah, I think I might be ready to move on to the next one already. I don't really know if I have much more to say, especially when it's endings, and I've already talked about the series at kind of considerable length. So I think we should just move on to the next one and see what we get in the third ending, or number 11 for this video. Let's go. Bird, blackbird, raven, crow, pigeon. Oh shit, look at this. Oh, it's Gachiakuta. This reminds me a lot of that one ending I'll never be able to remember the name of. Or opening, rather. Holy shit, the way that's showing all this trash, that's cool. The bitrate's kind of losing it a bit though. Is that his father? Because it's showing his face intertwined into his? Oh shit, let's go. This is really good. The artistry in the Gachiakuta endings has been really, really fun to follow. Then that's just bones, isn't it? Yeah, that guy... It's showing him with Rudo a little too much. The bird. Is the bird to represent, you know, this idea of freedom? And there's nobody. I would guess this is Spy Family. this kind of background. Is the bird representing some sort of freedom? And the chairs are obviously empty right at the end. This is the second ending for Gachiakuta, banned by Karanoah. Gachiakuta kind of 4 for 4 in openings and endings, not gonna lie. Absolutely. No stinkers whatsoever. I am so pleased with the openings and endings. And one thing I'm also gonna say, like the ending here, like with when it was doing the whole paper thing and like the drape in the background, whatever this is, the curtain or whatever. It's reminded me a lot of that one opening. I think it was an opening, maybe it was an ending that we checked out a long ass time ago. Midsummer or something. That kind of showed a bunch of different styles and everything within that opening, but it also had like this kind of like curtain thing as well. I might have thought, yeah, funny enough, I was going to lead then into the Beastars ending because it was done by the same team, I think, that did that opening and then the Beastars ending. I think you said, yeah. So it did remind me a lot of those two, which I immediately was so on board with. I was like, hell yeah, here we go. We're going to get something great. And we did. We got something that was so fun. And something really interesting is like also seeing these characters in an anime style standing in this this kind of like 3D cutout kind of world. I wonder then if that is like, I honestly, all I can guess is that but is it? Let me see. I really don't know because I'm behind in Gachiakuta, sadly. One of the biggest mysteries in Gachiakuta was who killed, can't remember his name, but his father figure. Who his father is. Yeah, those are kind of like the two big mysteries that I had. That I remember. And seeing then Rudo and this other guy staring at each other, it's making me wonder, is this Rudo's father? Like, I wouldn't think that would be something that would be revealed so early in the series. That's something that, in my mind, is being saved for way down the line. Unless it really isn't that big of a deal whatsoever. But yeah, he does look very ominous. He does look very uncertain. I don't know how to say that a bit better, but there's just something about him that doesn't spark confidence, because he looks very confident. He looks like the way he's looking down on Rudo almost. It's like he's below him and that he's the man with the plan and he's the one who's looking down on everyone else. But then, you know, seeing this here as well, where we're seeing, I'm sure everyone will know what I talk about when I say this, like when you're in class back when you're like, I don't remember doing this in secondary school, but primary school anyway, we would be given like a magazine and we would cut it out and we would make art from magazine cutouts. And that's what this looks like right here. And I think that that's so cool that it's showing trash, because trash is one of the main aspects of this whole damn series. Trash is this series. I'm not saying the series is trash, but this series would not exist without trash. It's a really, really cool look, and I'm sure there are Easter eggs littered throughout this, but it's so hard to see because the bitrate goes down the shitter because of how fast this is going. Like, it's so fast that the bitrate is just losing it, and I think it's funny, in all honesty. I suspect that this is mostly just a YouTube problem. Like, I don't know if this would be a problem on a proper player, like maybe Crunchyroll or something. I would hope not anyway, because that would be a damn shame that the true vision for this ending is lost because of shitty video players. This song was so much fun. Like, there's just something about it that is so damn fun. It's so entertaining to just bounce along and just follow this song, and just yeah, I don't know. It was really damn good, and the visuals to match it kind of capture the same chaos from the opening, because the opening, it's structured, but there's chaos kind of in the background, and it does kind of transition in and out of like styles here and there. So I think that it is perfectly Gachiakuta. I don't know if that is fair to say, but everything about this ending is perfectly Gachiakuta. I love that it showcases all these different styles. It doesn't linger too long on a style. It doesn't linger too long on a character or anything. It really, really shows so much, and I'm seeing things here as I'm going through this that are kind of worrying me. So yeah, I don't know who the hell this character is that's been stabbed, but it ain't looking good. Hoping for the best for these characters, but in all honesty, there's probably going to be some bad shit coming up for them all, and I wonder who it's going to be that gets them all through it. Like, what it is that's driving them forward, what they're fighting for right now. If they're out on a mission or something and they've come across like this something that's a little bigger than they were expecting. I know that they were going to the scrap heap, the scrap yard, whatever it's called, because Rudo wanted to ask some questions to this person that was living out there. But yeah, reaching out anyway, and of course it's Engine that pulls Rudo out of the darkness and into the light. So I'm glad that Rudo has characters that care about him. I'm glad that he has a great cast of characters around him, because he's a character that I think is really, really fun, and he's a great main character in my opinion, and I hope that others are latching on to him well, because he's such a little dork. He's such a little guy. He does need protecting here and there, but he can also hold his own. And yeah, I think I'm going to move on. Once again, the artistry in this ending was amazing. The song was incredible, and yeah, I cannot wait to see what comes our way in the future for Gachiakuta. I'm sure there's going to be a season 2. I'm sure we're just waiting for season 1 to wrap up for an announcement of season 2. That was Gachiakuta, and that was amazing. TikTok, add hot water. Oh no, it's actually Ranma? I thought this... Yeah, that's cool. Oh, I love the style. Wasn't the first ending like this too? That's so cool. I love the framing of the frames. That makes no sense. The panels. That's so cute. Will they ever see eye to eye? Will they ever get along? This guy... Like I said in the last opening ending video for summer, every great opening ending has a dance break in there. Pizza? No, not the water. They're running toward each other. Screw that guy. They're watching Ranma on TV. Oh, the smile at the end. Oh, it just cut off so awkwardly, the song. What was that weird cut off? I mean, I'll not complain too much. It was still a beautiful... screw that guy. It was still a beautiful ending, and I really, really loved it so much. This is the ending for Ranma Half 2024 Season 2, Panda Girl by Nishina. Panda Girl. Interesting. This really, really was a really well done, beautiful ending. And correct me if I'm wrong, but this is also how the first ending looked for the remake of Ranma, with the similar style. You know, there's panels with the characters drawn in this style, and they're kind of coming out of panels. They're screaming at each other from across the screen. There's obviously gaps between them, but I think also in the first ending they kind of came together at the end, so they're like, they closed the gap. So I love the continuation, the continuity within the endings for this, because it's just a lot of fun, isn't it? It's just so much fun. And I think for what I understand of Ranma, it really just sums up the joy and the fun of the series quite well, because on one hand it's very cutesy and it's very, you know, well drawn. It looks great, but on the other hand it is just like funny and fun to follow. That one was all blue and white, whereas this is in full color. Gotcha. I guess that's why maybe there was some hesitancy to my you know, correct me if I'm wrong kind of comment, because in my head I knew that it had this kind of paneling and stuff, but yeah, I guess the color was throwing me off, but I just couldn't remember. I really, really love that you do see a continuity from that. I love it so much. I think that these characters do look like they're a lot of fun. I love their sassiness for one another. I suspect that by the time the series finishes, they will probably have some love for one another. I don't know if it's going to go in that direction, but it definitely does look like it's an enemies to lovers kind of deal. Or maybe not enemies. They're going to work through the differences, and they're going to get to a point in their lives where they have some resolution to all these differences and all these fights that they have. That dance Akane is doing at 48 seconds is also a reference to opening 1, really? Oh, that's so fun. That's really, really cool. That is really, really cute. I love that so much, actually. That's so fun. The little reference to old Ranma, that really makes me smile, paying homage to the past of the series and everything, because I know that on one hand it is a new adaptation, and you know, they might be taking some liberties, or it might be doing things a little different or something like that, but it's still nice to see paying tribute to what came before it, that a lot of people attribute to Ranma. You know, that's a lot of people's introduction, a lot of people's knowledge of Ranma is from that original series. And yeah, it's an absolutely stunning ending. I love this drawing style and everything. Like it's very childlike or something, like I can't explain it. What's that game as well? It's reminding me of like a game, like the way the characters' faces look. Is there a game called like Mori or something? I've never played it. I've just seen like the box art for it with like it's like a white background with like a little kid's face, and it kind of has this kind of a face look, like with the eyes and everything. I don't know if that makes sense or if that's fair to say, because I'm literally just going off of the box art for the game. It goes from showing the characters in panels so far away from each other, then to showing this. Isn't this also like a shot from an opening or something? I feel like I remember this because I used a shot just like this for a thumbnail. Seeing all the boys fawning over her, seeing all the girls fawning over him, it's so fun. Because they're just looking at each other almost in a look at what we have to deal with kind of way. But at the same time, she just sprays him down with water. Yeah, I think it's fun, because I don't know if this was her in a way saving him, because when she sprays him down, he obviously turns into a girl. So she kind of actually saved him from his torment in that moment, but I don't know if it was seen that way. They're so cute together. I can't wait to see that more of them in the future, because this was such a treat. I really, really do love checking out more Takahashi opening endings, because it's great. Like, I love it so much. I know that there are some other big series out there that she wrote that we have not checked out yet, namely Inuyasha. So I'm wondering just how those opening and endings look if we ever check them out. But seeing the way this has been brought to life so wonderfully with so much character, so much joy, so much fun, and so much energy, I absolutely adore it. And I think that Nishina did an absolutely phenomenal job here. She has such a great voice, and I love the instrumentation and everything provided with this because it brought so much fun. And also the visuals are stunning, as always, for Ranma. I cannot give enough praise to the visuals or the song itself. But yeah, I think I'm ready to check out the next one. The final 3 of the year. Oh my. Final 3 endings, that'll be. Number 13 for this video. Let's go. Ooh. Wow. The watercolor. Jazzy feel to it. Lloyd! Okay, that's what I was going to say when it showed the start. So I think this is flashback Lloyd season. Look at them all. Oh, I love the sound of this so much, actually. Yuri watching them. That's baby Lloyd. All these people that he called his friends. With the little gun. Oh, now he has a family. Is that the last time he maybe felt like he had a real family? Oh, they all put their first foot forward. That was really great. That was a really, really good ending, sorry. That was truly beautiful. This could have been an opening, in all honesty. I don't know, like, I know that Spy Family has never had a dull opening or ending, but this one really, really did strike me as the kind of ending that could have been an opening. Like, I don't know. This is the ending for Spy Family Season 3, acted by Lilas Ikuta of Yoshino. Funny enough, the voice sounded so familiar that I was going to scream out at one point, is this Yoshino? But I didn't want to because I didn't hear any like craziness in the background, so maybe I should have just done it. So I think it's really funny seeing like there's different shots here. Like it starts off here showing the family walking, and then, you know, you see Fiona Frost, I believe her name is, in the background lurking and watching. And then as it goes on, you see Yuri watching them, looking very inconspicuous. So yeah, they got people watching them at all times. We decided to scream out. I made a damn fool of myself so much that, I mean, it goes all the way back to that initial MHA video where I scream out, is this Flo or whatever, when it was TK. I could honestly make a compilation at this point, but I don't want to go through videos and figure out where they all are anymore. I absolutely loved the way this was done, because yet again we get like the golden days, you know, with the sunlight and everything, the background, everything looks so beautiful, so golden. And that's as Lloyd is thinking back about his past and everything. We see his group of friends. They look like a really great group, but that's interrupted by a drop of color, which then he wakes up to. So I'm not sure how to interpret that exactly, but I'm sure there's meaning to it. You know, he's brought back to reality and everything. The world is dull. The world's got like this really dreary gray, like bluish sheen to it, whereas in the past, like it was showing this beautiful yellowy golden color. But they go out anyway. They go outside, and still like there's not exactly this hugely pop of color. Like it's a little dulled out apart from like Yours coat. It's very colorful, and you just see them going out and doing family things. They're having fun and everything, and then a bird comes into view, and a bird representing freedom and everything. Maybe something that when Lloyd was younger, he would look out at this bird and think about, you know, the potential for freedom, because I think he was an orphan, or maybe he was orphaned after this flashback, at the end of this flashback, I'm not entirely sure. The bird representing a freedom, a world without this war, perhaps a world without all these things tying him down. And that's then when we see him with potentially his found family and his friends, you know, a group of friends that he loves and adores so much that maybe he associated with his family. He called them his family, because right after this we see him with the others. You know, we see him with Yor, we see him with Anya, and we see him with Bond. And this is his new family. This is a family that he's been shoved into, but at the same time it's a family that he's growing to love and appreciate and have this genuine bond with, that he will go out of his way for. I know I said Bond and then Bond is in the shot. It was not intentional, but I do think that it's great storytelling within this ending, because it tells you quite a lot actually about Lloyd's family past and Lloyd's past in general, and the family that he has now. And I do think that it did a great job of telling us the story, because at the end I think it shows him going across perhaps the same bridge that we saw from the beginning of the ending, because, well, at least it strikes me as a similar bridge anyway. And we see similar lighting in the background too, because no longer are those days in the past, like those twilight days. Those days are in the now as well. He is finally happy once again, and he can live a life. He can have a life that he is content with, and that he can live out the rest of his years in, because everyone is on the same page and they're all so happy together. And this family life is a facade, but you can see in shots like these that they are a true family. It's not this facade. It's real. It's genuine. It's a put together family, but they're a family nonetheless. And yeah, this was beautiful, this was stunning, and I really, really adored this ending so much. And yeah, another great one on the list for Spy Family. Yeah, I don't know what more I can say, but I think we should move on to the next one, which would be the penultimate ending for this video. So yeah, let's see what we get in number 14. Here we go. Oh, what's this? Little squirrel? Chipmunk? Kingdom? Wow, this looks incredible actually. This looks really good. I'm sorry, I'm not really saying much because I'm just in love with these visuals. The apple. That guy looks intimidating right there. See the big bad? I love the oriental kind of sound in the background too. Like it sounded great. That was really, really, really great introduction to Kingdom. I kept meaning to check out the openings a long time ago, and I never did. So maybe this is my sign to actually finally get that video out. This is the 6th season of Kingdom, produced by Piero and Signpost. I didn't know Piero did Kingdom. That's crazy. Primarily Modern Kingdom. Kingdom's first 2 seasons were handled by Piero alone and not that well received. Really? Signpost has handled it since season 3. Kingdom takes place in warring states China. Granted, from an outsider's perspective, I didn't know it was in China, but hearing the kind of like strings, I don't know the instrument that was used, but it really gave it like a Chinese feel. Like I can't quite explain it, but it kind of clued me in that this was maybe in China, just from the song itself, like the way it was incorporating like a modern sound with a traditional sound, which I thought was done amazingly. I thought that was done so damn well. Kingdom takes place in Warring States, China, the period that would result in the first imperial dynasty, and follows a young man named Xin, or is it Shin? Jin, maybe? Jin? Shin, okay. So I was right the first time. With a dream of becoming the greatest general to grace the mortal realm. That's a lofty dream to have, and I'm sure as the course of the series goes on, you get to see that play out more and more and more, and you get to see him climb up the ranks and everything. But it's been so long that you personally don't know where he's at in his journey. This is the ending for the season. The song is Hoko by Sora Tomonari. You promise me not a single other kingdom opening or ending has this amount of sauce. This is an absolute complete outlier. Yeah, I would believe it, but at the same time, you know, Kingdom is a series that I would genuinely be interested in checking out, because I know it's consistently, like, I say checking out, I mean like reading it for the like for the record, because I know that it has consistently been one of the highest selling manga series every year since its inception, I would imagine. So yeah, and because I've heard so little about it, I think it would be a really, really cool one to check out. And as well as that, like, you know, big war series, like some of the coolest parts of Berserk in the early stages were those huge war sections where, you know, it would be a lot of it being horseback, and yeah, there'd just be a lot of fighting. And I don't know if Kingdom is the kind of series that is very grounded, or if there are kind of absurd, abnormal, like super strength moments where people are cutting through horses like it's nothing, performing feats of strength that aren't natural. Like, I don't know if it's that kind of series or if it's more grounded, but I do think that Kingdom would be a series that I would enjoy. And so that's why it's always been like, well, I say always, for the past year or two, it has kind of been on my list of series that I would love to read. That's why I've been wanting to check out the openings, because I think it would be really great at getting an introduction and getting a taste for it. People do like these newer seasons that Signpost is handling, like the current one that this is, the 84, is in the top 15 on Mal at the minute, really, and it's only just started. It's just that you have to get through the not so good Piero seasons from a while ago to get there. Yeah, that's really, really interesting, because I had no idea that Piero even did the beginning of Kingdom, and it's really, really interesting as well to me that Piero, as a studio that I'm very familiar with, kind of dropped the ball with it. And then it wasn't until another studio came along, one that I had never heard of before, that basically saved the series. So I think that that is actually really, really cool. Other series could learn from that and could pass off their series that they're not really doing anything with it to another. I don't want to say up and coming studio like Signpost, because I don't know what else they've done. I don't know if they're an up and coming studio, but maybe a studio that's not so well known that could make a name for themselves with a series like that. Let me just say also, holy shit, you already said it, Pinecino, but this has so much sauce. This is incredible. The look of this ending is stunning. There is not a single bad thing I could say about this. This is absolutely breathtaking. It is genuinely amazing and thoroughly one of the coolest looking endings I have seen in quite a while. Like, I can't quite put my finger on it as to why, but maybe it's just the fact that there's no real outlines or anything, and just the way characters look, the way they're drawn, the way they're moving. There's just something about it. There's just something about it, man. I can't quite put my finger on exactly what it is that makes this stand out and makes this so great. You believe the visuals of this were handled by some fairly new up-and-comers at Piero too? Really? That says a lot, because isn't Black Clover coming back? Maybe those up-and-comers will be working on Black Clover. You check their credits and this was all that's there. That's so cool. Even the way the shadows are done and the fact that there's no outlines or anything, it makes her, this looks like a girl, I've been getting it wrong all day. It makes her look like she's a 3D figure in like a 2D kind of style. Like, I can't quite put it. I don't know how to explain that better, but like the shadows are done so well throughout this. There's something about this that just looks incredible. It is really, really well done, and it's definitely one of the smoothest, slickest looking endings I've seen in such a long time. And the song as well was so great. It was like a chanting kind of like theme song, like almost like an anthem song that you would hear in like a stadium or something, where it's just like driving you forward and like it's got a driving beat. But like I was saying earlier, the way traditional elements musically were incorporated into like a modern sound was done so damn well that I have nothing but praise for this. It was so great. And honestly, in terms of endings so far for today, this is probably my favorite ending so far. I don't know what I would say my favorite in this video is, because there are some other great ones in there that I would have to think about it for a minute. But in terms of endings alone, this is so incredible, and I really love this one so much. Getting to see all the characters as well, there's just something about it that tells you that there's a lot of camaraderie here, which is nice to see. I imagine that some of the best moments of the series are kind of probably moments like these, where they're all just sitting around after a battle or something and just enjoying life, enjoying their time together, whatever it is, because I'm sure they've had some serious losses along the way. Also, which character is Shin? Is it this guy? Yeah, I'm not really sure who Shin is, but if he's the main character looking fellow, yeah, this guy kind of has main character to him. But also, is it crazy to say that this girl's reminding me of the main character in is it Elusive Samurai? Which I have to remember, I think the main character in that other series is a prince, not a princess. I used to always think it was a young girl. And then of course, like the iconic blue armor, which is how I knew this was Kingdom, because I have seen that blue armor before in like manga covers, I guess. I don't know what more I can say about this. I'm sure others have done a better job, but this was phenomenal. This was certainly, if not the best of the day, up there with the best of the day. And it's gonna be probably ranking on my favorite endings of the year. But yeah, let us move on now to the final ending, number 15 here, and see what we get. If you guys have enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe if you have not done so already, and comment down below letting me know your favorite opening and ending that we have checked out today. And if you would like to be notified when episode reactions go live too, you can hit the notification bell down below, and that should let you know. And of course, as always, share this with a friend or someone that you know that you think might enjoy this video. And yeah, let's just check out the final one right now. Alright, so here we go, the final ending. This has been a really fun one, so let's see what we get. Here we go. Oh shit, My Hero Academia, of course. What a great way to bookend this list. All Might, the card. That's a familiar voice right there. The hair, wow. This is a really great way to show everything that's happened. This is so sweet. I love this. Muscular. Damn, look at all of this. This is such a nice ending. It's showing everything that came before. I love this. There's Edgy Deku. And there he is. Aww. He reached through to him. The big scar. Oh, that was so cute. I didn't want it to end. Was that Eve? It sounded like Eve, right? It's the husky voice. It sounds like Eve. Anytime I hear a husky voice, I'm like Eve. This is the final ending for My Hero Academia. I, by Bump of Chicken. Spy Family opening 2 and Dungeon be opening 1. That's crazy. I got that wrong so bad there. That's really funny. You'll be honest, you've never been that fond of the My Hero Academia endings, really. I think some of them have been great, but this is by far and away your favorite. As someone that's been following this anime for almost a decade, this got you a little the first time you saw it. Yeah, I completely get that, because this is in the same way I was saying the opening that we checked out for this was, I was saying the opening felt like a celebration of the series. This is a true celebration of the entire series. Like, you see all the way back, it's showing stuff like this where when he was a child, he got this card in like a packet or something. My memory's a bit spotty, and that's something that Bakugo also got, and it's something that they kind of had a commonality, and it's showing that all the way at the beginning of this. And that's also part of what inspired Deku to go forward and want to be a hero. It was All Might. And then you see them kind of living their opposite lives from one another, going all the way back to this alleyway scene where he begs him to be a hero, and then we get the training and everything. Like, yeah, this is going all the way back to the beginning. I love that it did it this way. And then this is also the first Smash, I believe, right? I love that they did it this way because it shows love and passion for the series. And I don't mean to say that Bones hasn't been showing love for the series, but it's nice to have a final ending or something for a series like this that has been going on for the better part of a decade, and to get an ending like this that celebrates everything. Every single detail, everything that came before it, everything that people knew and loved about My Hero Academia is presented here. And it's done so remarkably. It's done in such a beautiful way. And I love the way that it's been done like it's in a book, which is kind of like, I think, what it shows at the end. Everything throughout, you see like it's been drawn, it's on paper with the lines and everything. So it's like Deku rewriting his life, rewriting everything that happened, and it's like a great memory. Like, it's a great way to showcase like a visual diary, I guess, if you want. It's done so remarkably well here, and it's done with so much love and passion that I can't help but be absolutely in awe of what I'm seeing here. And Bump of Chicken did a remarkable job here too. The song was so touching. It had so much emotion. It felt like it didn't strike me as the kind of song that gives you hype or gives you energy. It didn't make me feel sad or anything at the same time either. It made me happy. There's something about it. Like, I honestly could have expected the final ending for My Hero Academia to be a really, really sad one because of, you know, everything that came before it, and now we're finally at the end. But instead, it made me happy, which is in a way like the true essence of what I loved about My Hero Academia. It made me happy while reading. It made me happy following these characters. And so seeing it here again, presented in such a beautiful way, with a song that just makes me happy. But at the same time, there are like kind of somber tones to the song, but it's not like overwhelmingly like sad or something, like, if that makes sense. This was truly amazing. Seeing all the different scenes, like, I didn't get as far as seeing Muscular in the series while I was watching it or anything, but seeing that as well was really cool. Here they are all walking, and then this, I believe, is during one of the first missions that they do while they're training and everything. 2v2s, I think it was, where they have to like stop someone from launching a rocket or something. I can't remember. Seeing that presented here as well is so damn cool. It shows everything. The school arc and everything. The training arc with this little speedy guy. I can't remember his name. Yeah, truly, truly the most passionate, loving ending I could have ever imagined for this. Of course, we get our guy Stain up here as well. The series changed drastically after Stain. He really did change the trajectory of this whole series. When they got announced for the ending, it felt so spiritually right for you. They just have an MHA sound to them. Yeah, I honestly can get behind that. They have done a few Bones anime beforehand, so you already had that association in your head. Like, over the years, you've kind of been continually shocked they hadn't been featured in the series yet. Well, here they are. They're going to be the last thing potentially you hear, unless they decide to end the series out in a really like thematic kind of way with finishing on opening one, which I think would be incredible, by the way. Finishing on opening one would be such a great way to end the series. But at the same time, Bump of Chicken might be the final thing you hear when it comes to My Hero Academia. You've had that vision. Yeah, knowing the final scenes of the manga panels, I can't imagine it ending any other way other than hearing opening one playing over the background. Like, it just feels so right for me as someone who knows how that series ends. I'm not gonna say too much more because, you know, you guys are still enjoying the series. One of the best examples of like a passion project of an ending I can think of, and I cannot think of a better way to wrap up my time with My Hero Academia openings and endings. I love this so much. I loved every second of this. I loved every second of checking out My Hero Academia. And yeah, I'm glad that this ended the video because yeah, this is how it all began for me. Doing openings, endings, anime reaction content in general. I started this with the My Hero Academia video way back when. A video that I really hate and I cringe looking back on. It was so bad. But that's how I got started with all this, and you guys asked for more. You guys asked for me to check out other series, other things, and so I did, and that's how we got to where we are today. And to think I only did that out of fun. Pinecino and I had been talking once upon a time, and I said I knew nothing about My Hero Academia, but I was reading it, and so he was like, well, have you ever seen the openings? I was like, no. So I was like, hey, one day I'll do the openings, I'll stream them for you, and we can just have fun. Like, it was just for him. The whole video of the opening video was just for Pinecino. But I recorded it just on a whim, and I decided one day when I had nothing to do to edit it down and just upload it just for fun, just to kind of have it out there, because I've done that in the past with gaming videos where I've just uploaded them for my own, you know, storage sake. Like, it's there, I can look back on it, and I did not anticipate the reaction whatsoever, the overwhelming response. And yeah, it all comes back to just doing it for fun one day, which, like, I know that it's One Punch Man, it's the whole hero for fun thing, but My Hero Academia was such a fun ride to read, such a fun series to react to when I was reacting to it. I know that it's a sore point for the channel that I never finished season 1, but if I'm being perfectly honest, like, and I'm gonna be, like, not blunt, but the reason I never finished season 1 of My Hero Academia was because I got an insane burnout from just reading My Hero Academia in the span of a few weeks, reacting to the series and openings, endings, a Hero 2. Like, I was just doing so much My Hero Academia that I got incredibly burned out. So I do apologize to anyone that was following those videos. I did not anticipate getting so incredibly burned out, and I did not want to put out videos that I was not happy with. I did not want to sit down and force myself to fake reactions or anything like that, because that's not what I want to do in this channel. I want to have fun, and this has all been about having fun, and this has been a lot of fun checking this out again. And yeah, I don't know really what more to say. This really was incredible, and I'm so glad we were able to do this one final time. My Hero Academia. What a generational run that this series has had. I know that people have had their faults with it. I know people have had their upsets and sections of the story they're not exactly happy with, but nobody can deny the presence that My Hero Academia has had in the anime landscape over the past decade. I commend Bones for finishing this out strongly, and I hope that everyone has a great time with the finale and the end of the series and the final season, because this is a special series, and I hope that it's one that people do continue to talk about over the years. And yeah, I guess it's going to be easier to recommend to people once it's over, right? Yeah, I'm going to wrap this one up now. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe if you've not done so already. Leave a comment down below thanking Pinecino for compiling this list as always, and letting me know which of these openings and endings have been your favorite in this video. Notification bell, all that good stuff. Share this with someone, and I hope that you guys are having a great day today and that you're able to take it easy. I will see you in the next one. Take care.